Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Now, today is Tuesday, November 18th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a beautiful fall day here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger's going to be covering a range of important topics with a special focus on the trading pit, including what is the trading pit and why did Roger create it? He's going to talk about all the different types of trades that he takes in the trading pit. He's also going to share what the performance stats have been in the pit since its inception. He's also going to talk a lot about when to day trade and when to swing trade the pit alerts, how to determine the best option play to take, whether it's simply buying a call or a put, or when to put on a spread. And as a special bonus, he's going to do a real-time update on Roger's pit watch list. So it's a great session today. We're delighted you're here with us for this. Now, if you've got questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we will address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Now, also remember here, folks, that the chat is open to everyone, and we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Keep to the topic. No political discussions are allowed whatsoever. And also, folks, please keep your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the education and information that Roger's sharing, because after all, he's taking time out of his busy day to give us an edge in the markets and to help us all become more confident and consistent in our trading. So, as far as today is concerned, we've opened the day looking at catalysts, and this is at 8 o'clock in the morning. Roger has his pre-market briefing, and in today's catalyst, there were several things we needed to pay attention to. With regard to chips, we noted that AMD and Intel were both down 1%. On the Magnificent Seven front, Amazon and Microsoft were also coming into the open down 1%. In the healthcare sector, we note that Medtronic was going to be releasing their earnings before market open. On the consumer staples front, we noted that Home Depot was down 3%, but Deckers was up 1%. And then on the international front in Europe, we noted that Euro stocks were down about 1.22%, and the Japanese Nikkei was down 3.22% coming into the U.S. Open. With regard to the Fed, we note that we have two FOMC speakers on tap to talk today, and we also had the release of some factory and some housing data information. So for those of you wondering about what these catalysts are and why we report them and pay attention to them, well, from Roger's perspective, he wants to focus on information, critical information that is either known or will be known during the trading session, but is not yet priced into the market. And for those reasons, each one of these catalysts represent potential volatility points that we need to be aware of as we consider trading stocks, for example, in these sectors. Now, on the small cap watch list front, Roger identified three tickers today: CANF, ONFO, and RYET. And let's switch screens here now, and let's take a look at how those small cap stocks are performing today. Now, looking at my charts, my small caps are here all the way on the left-hand side. We see that CANF, its pre-market high was 72 cents, and it basically opened up and has been drifting lower on very, very light volume, and I highly doubt we're going to move up to and through this area here. Next to it here, we have ONFO. Its pre-market high was $1.38, and it's just been chopping right here around 95 cents. Once again, on declining volume, I doubt we're going to see anything here either. And then here in the bottom left-hand corner, we see we have RYET. Its overnight high was $1.15, and it's just been chopping around 91 cents, and I don't think it's going to make a move either. So I don't expect that we're going to have a hit on any of these small cap markets at this point in time. So going back to the normal presentation here, before I leave the small caps, I want to let you know that Roger's selection process is not only based on price action, but primarily primarily it's based on extreme volume in pre-market trading. And I'm talking about volume that is typically 100 times more than what the normal volume is for that small cap. You also need to remember that small caps are their own animal, okay? They're not driven by institutions. Institutions don't put any money into small caps whatsoever. You also need to know that if you consider trading any of these small caps, only do that during market and normal market hours. And if you don't have a fill by around 2 p.m. Eastern time, take the trade off. Don't worry about it. It's not worth the risk. And oh, by the way, if you do get filled, never, never hold a small cap overnight. Once again, it's just not worth the risk. Now, looking at Roger's large cap stocks for today, we noted that he gave us 11 shorts. We have Nike, we have MOS, LYB, we had ICE, CCL, NET, PINS, ANET, CELH, Boeing, and Upstart, UPST. So we had 11 shorts there, and then we had 8 longs. Google, UHS, MU Micron, Amgen, IBB, BBIO, CYTK, and INSM. Now, when Roger gives these large cap recommendations, he brings each ticker up on his chart and he gives a brief conversation about what he's seeing, what he's looking at. He'll say things like, wait for it to break below the VWAP, or I'm expecting another move lower, or hold on to a pullback here. Great information around each one of these, but these are on his watch list. And if any of these tickers, for example, meet his criteria during the day, more than likely he's going to take that trade and post it in the trading pit or in another of one of his premium alert services. Now, as far as his closing pre-market comments were concerned, we did note that the futures were down significantly across the board coming into the open. The SPY, the QQQ, and the RSP were all down in their range and below the 50-day moving average. He also pointed out that the VIX was above 22 and that the pull-call ratio was heavy on the put side. In other words, the fear indicator was spiking at this point in time. He also pointed out that there's considerable downside momentum in the market, and that 48% of the Russell 3000 companies, are above the 200 moving average. In other words, only 48%. In Roger's opinion, when we drop below 50%, that's an indication that we are heading into bear territory. And the Russell 3000, these are the 3,000 top stocks in the U.S. market. So from his standpoint, here's his questions coming into the day. Will the VIX move lower? And will the index, overnight lows hold? He wanted to see those two things. And more importantly, he said, folks, don't panic, okay? We've been moving lower for several weeks now. And on a technical basis, the bottom is in sight. So it's not like we woke up this morning and we're going like, oh my God, the market's crashing. No, it has been moving lower for several weeks and even into months. So once again, the bottom was in sight. One thing I also want to point out to you, because I mentioned it about, the index is holding their lows. Coming back to this chart, here we see this is the bonds. This is TLT. And his point was, I wonder if bonds are going to stay in this range or move a little bit higher. Actually, they've broken below the pre-market high low here, right? So it broke below that level. We did see the SPY here, and here was the low at 660. So the market opened up, and Roger wanted to see, is the overnight momentum going to carry through? Is this support level going to hold? Well, it didn't look like it was, but here in the past, hour or so, we see that the market is bouncing back up, and it's moving above its lows. The same with the QQQ, came into the key support area, significantly broke below it, and now climbing higher. This is the MAGs doing the same thing. And over here we see the SMH, this is the chip stocks, also doing the same thing. So Roger's supposition was, look, we might take a punch, okay? The markets are down coming into the open. Let's see if they move a little bit lower, but he was much more interested to see how they might recover, where they would be trading in the afternoon, and where they would be at the close. So once again, I thought it was interesting just to point that out. And I know that Roger is going to go over that in some greater detail. So today's agenda, folks, we're delighted to have you here with us. Roger Roger's going to be focused on the trading pit. He's going to tell us what is the trading pit and why he created it. He's going to talk about the different types of trades that he takes in the trading pit. He's going to share with us what the performance stats have been since the inception of the pit. He's going to talk about when to day trade and swing trade pit alerts, how to determine the best option play to take. In other words, should we just buy a call or a put, or when is it appropriate to take a spread or something else? And as a bonus, he's going to do a real-time update on his pit watch list so we can all see that. Now, folks, if you have any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Now, remember also that the chat is open to everyone, but we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your post. Number 2, keep to the topic. Number 3, no political discussions allowed whatsoever. Number 4, please keep your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the information that Roger's sharing, because, folks, think about it for a minute. He's taking time out of his busy day to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, folks, once again, let's say hi to the team. Roger, buddy, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I know Matt's in the background there. He should be coming on shortly. But, you know, Rod, I was just really impressed with your prognostication today. I mean, you basically, as I said, I told folks, you almost said, look, guys, we're probably going to take a punch. You know, the question is will that downflow, is it going to continue? Are we going to bottom out and are we going to climb back above what were yesterday's lows? And you know what? I think you called it to the T, buddy.
I think I might have. And one of the clues that is true is this. Let me just share my screen and show you guys real quick. Greetings, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Marie, I think it's on your end. The sound is good. Just
yes,
FYI.
The sound is great.
Let me just go here. One of the biggest giveaways was this right here. The number of stocks this morning. See, now we're at 354.
Yes.
Yesterday we were at 465 coming into today. And about an hour and a half ago, I sent an update. Here, I sent an update. It's really good to have all this stuff time-stamped. So here you could see right here. Currently coming, this is at 11 o'clock, about an hour ago. So look at this. We said there's about 465 stocks making 1 month lows. Right now, they're coming into today. Right now, there's 456 stocks. That was an hour ago, okay? Mm-hmm. So the market was actually lower, but there was less stocks making lows, and market internals at 11 o'clock. Here, I'm going to show you. You could see my screen, right?
Yeah, see your screen just fine.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. You could see right here. You could see right here how at 11 o'clock market internals just started bolting. I mean, like bolting higher. That's the low and that's the high. We haven't had really a lot of divergence between the SPY. And then here too, we opened the ADD opened up here, which is negative 1,000, now it's at negative 60. So we don't really have a bearish market cycle right now. The only fear I have is mega caps, but we've pretty much recovered. We've pretty much recovered all of the downside from yesterday. We've pretty much recovered. And just so you guys know, all that noise in the market, the fear of this and the fear of that and the fear, that is well priced into the market. That is well priced into the market. And as I said this morning, the put to call ratio is over 1. So unless there's some panic in the market, and I'm not really seeing any major panic, I'm just seeing conditions, kind of people talking about conditions. The fact that the bonds shot down when the market went up is a sign that people are taking money out of stocks, bonds, and putting them back into stocks. So again, we're not out of the woods yet, but I'm going to show you guys something interesting here. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. Let me. So this is the daily chart of the SPY. Okay.
Okay.
So remember when we were up here, and I told you guys we can't get too far above this area for too long? Well, guess what? Do you see that? Do you see
Yep.
anything familiar?
Yes, we do.
Hey, Becky. So you see that? We went from here all the way down here. What happens every time we break this level? We penetrate this level. What happened when we penetrated this level? We bounced. So I think we're going to have a nice bounce. The question is, how far up are we going to bounce? Are we going to bounce? Are we going to bounce? You got a good support right here. And again, the market, there's nothing new coming into this market. The AI, earnings are done except for Nvidia. Okay, they're done for AI. Okay, fine. Earning valuations are too high, but earnings were twice as good as we expected. So are they still too high? Are they low? I think that's already way priced in. I think it's just economic uncertainty and inflation and lack of Fed data. Also, the reports, the first jobs report came out. It was at 235,000 from October, and that's in the low 200. Remember, I said anything below 240,000 is not high. So I'm not really seeing anything crazy right now. I'm not seeing anything nutty right now. And as I said, momentum levels have been increasing throughout the day. They've been getting better, not declining.
Not declining. Yeah. One
And
comment that was made here, Roger, be interesting, worth your thoughts, is that it was interesting that the bonds, the TLT was moving lower at the exact same time that the SPY, the MAGs, the QQQ, everything was recovering.
yes, yes, yes. So again, all that, and looking at the market internally will not, nothing will give you a better look. We could be looking at the market from 100 feet away through our binoculars, and we could be saying, well, we think this and we think that, and we believe this, but you get me a doctor to take a heartbeat, open the hood and take a heartbeat, and look, he will know better than you and I will. I promise
Mhm.
you that. Because he's not speculating. He's looking at the actual numbers. And it just the market did not have that the market did not have that feel coming into today. It had a okay. The market seemed like it was stretched out. That's what it seems like. Now again, we don't know. This is a hammer. We don't know how high it's going to go. We can just consolidate around here and begin coming down. So this is just the first step. But I do know that most of the time that we come and penetrate this level here, we're overextended to the downside. And when we're overextended and we're between the 50 and the 100 day, that's telling us we may have a pullback. The question is for how long? That's the question mark here. Okay, that's the question. Um, you know, so again, we will see. We will find out soon enough. We will figure it out. But I like what I'm seeing so far, and I wouldn't be getting too bearish right now. Now, if you're still looking at stocks that have been going down for the last several months, they're more likely going to continue going down. But if you're looking for a breakdown, I wouldn't be looking for that right now. I would be looking for neutral positions right now and stocks that are coming off and starting to come back up right now. Okay. And as I told you this morning, remember the example I gave you this morning? And if you can't, in case you weren't there this morning, I'll repeat it again. Imagine you're in an elevator and the building is 20 stories. Okay. The elevator does not have windows and it's broken. So you don't know if it's on the 20th floor or if it's 6 inches above the ground. You don't know because you're in the elevator, right? And it's not giving you those things because it's broken and there's an earthquake. I'm making this up as I'm going along to illustrate a point that you feel like that it's about to just crash,
Right.
and you're thinking to yourself, if I'm on the 19th floor and it comes down, I'm going to die. And then after an hour later, the doors open and you find yourself and you're like 5 feet from the ground, okay, and you're like. So what I was saying this morning is I don't want you guys coming into the session thinking that we are all the way up here. We're not. We're pretty close to the bottom. The only thing we need right now to go lower is real fear. Earnings are done. Trump's been doing whatever he's been doing. He's going to keep doing it. We're not really seeing anything on the horizon that detrimental or that positive, one way or the other. We're not getting the decision from the Supreme Court. So to me, this is just a much needed pullback that we haven't had in a while. And I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves right now. And again, everything that you and I know is already priced into the market. There's nothing new that. So we'll see what happens. But momentum levels started improving, and I'll prove it to you. Look here. If you're one of those guys or gals that needs to see it for yourself, here. Breakdown 20-day. That's trading days, right? We're at 354 right now. Look at coming into today. That's updated last night, 465. So we're not looking all that bad. And right now, the SPY is what? The SPY is down 0.74. It's down 3/4 of a point, and we have less stocks breaking down. That's usually, typically, most of the time, a sign that we're bottoming out. When you take that into account with the put to call ratio, that there was way too many put buyers coming into the market, that also kind of reinforces that as well. Now, again, I can't predict the future. I don't know what Trump is going to say tonight or if he's going to say anything. I have no idea what the Fed will do, but the odds of the Fed lowering rates is now below 50%. That's already priced into the market. All right. So just wanted to make sure you guys kind of understand where we are and what's going on, okay? So what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about the pit. The pit. I know it sounds, honestly, I don't even know why we named it the pit. It sounds like the pits, right? It doesn't sound that it doesn't have a gregarious name. The pits. Where were you today? I was in the pit with Roger.
I was in the pit.
I was in the pit all day. Anyway, regardless of it, the reason I created the pit is this. We have all our programs have a lot of rules. It's nothing but the pits. Yeah, absolutely. It's nothing but I think Dragon Dawn has a question for you, Matt. Dragon Dawn, you may want to email show us where to put the ATR on the dashboards real quick. No, he's not going to show you how to do that right now, Dragon. This is not, I think Don thinks this is customer service live. I actually have an agenda here. Okay, let's continue. So the reason I created the pit was for a very, very specific reason. I wanted people to see that all our services are very buy now, sell now. A week goes by, buy again. You do very specific trades. I always joked around. And said, I wish I could just be myself and just trade like I trade. If I could do that, I think people would see things from a very different perspective. So after a while, I just said, you know what, screw it. And that's when we got access to the Telegram channel. So what I did was I didn't know if we would want to do it or not, if people were interested in it. So I said, hey guys, I'm going to give you, this was 2 summers ago. Hey John, and I said, why don't I give you some trades during the summer on the house, and I'll just be myself. I'll just trade how I trade. I'm not going to give you any rules. I'm not going to give you any. I'm just going to tell you to just follow my trades. Okay, you're just going to have to trust me on it. And I did over the course of that summer. I did 160 trades. They were all in the public Telegram channel, and they had 160 trades. We had a 96% win rate. 96% win rate. So after that, I said, you know what, folks? Folks were like, Roger, you're like, if you don't launch this, we're gonna come out there and strangle you. So I launched it, and I launched it. I think 2 days after my birthday, something like that. I launched it. I did the test experiment during the summer, and then we launched it, I think, beginning of November or end of October, like right around my birthday. And it's become the most popular, I believe, the most popular program in the history of the pub. And that's where I spend the majority of my day. And we currently have a 94.10% win rate. That's was updated yesterday, 421 trades, and including one this morning that we took a profit on. So, and what do I do in the pit? How do I keep myself? So after I launched the pit, something very interesting happened. Something very, very interesting happened. I started getting emails from people like Richard. I started getting emails from people like Omar. You're changing our life. We didn't know it was possible, but now that we see you do it, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, we realized that it is possible, and we could do it too. That's right. That's right. And Matter of fact, hold on, let me show you right here. Here's an email I got this morning from Omar. I made $256,000 yesterday. That was yesterday. Okay. He uses the Pro Trader dashboard. Yes, it is a fantastic tool. I would be lost without it, so would be Omar. I use the Pro Trader dashboard to find all my trades in the pit. So if I came to you and said, yeah, all of a sudden somebody made 250,000, you would say, are you out of your mind? But Omar's been sending me this every day, and I've been posting it for you guys every day ever since he started. He's almost, I think he's at 5 million, probably over. I'll get an update from him this weekend. But my point is, after I launched the pit, people saw and understood two things. That I'm not some stupid guru trying to sucker money out of you. I am a shark. That was number one. And number two, people realized what's really possible and that trading is anything but random. And a lot of people started changing their lives. And I told you that within a year, we were going to have, within last December, January, I told you that we're going to have at least 10 people who have made more than $1 million just trading the pit. I think now we have about 20 to 30. Okay, 20 to 30. And we're still doing it. So if you ever want to be with me or feel like you're hanging out with me, literally, because I'm in there all day long, that's what I do. I am in the pit. I am in the pit, okay, all day long. So just to give you an idea, and I'll tell you in a minute the kind of trades we do in the pit. I haven't tabbed all the trades from last week. I should have. I didn't know we were going to do the pit this week, but let me show you some numbers. Raleigh, can you tell me what day was not Sunday 2 days ago, but the Sunday before?
The Sunday before would have been like the 9th of November.
Okay, hold on. 9th of November. Okay. I'm going there. Hold on. Oh, went a little too far. 9th of November. Hold on. I got to get there. Oops, I went to 7th. Hold on. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. So let me just give you an example. Here's the pit from last week, okay? Monday, we went long BE and closed BE with a profit. Tuesday, we issued IBB. We closed IBB with a profit. Gave a bonus trade on Lumen. That one did not do well. Went long Google, closed out with a profit. Issued a bonus time spread on LCID. Closed LCID with a profit. Went long IBM, closed IBM with a profit, and then went long Apple, closed Apple with a profit. Opened SMR. This one, I think folks did okay. Some people made a little money on it. Some people did not. This one. And then let me show you real quickly the 3 weeks before. I did one where we did 3 weeks in a row. Hold on. Do you remember the week before that? It was the second.
Okay, yeah, it would have been, the second, Sunday, the 2nd of November.
Yeah, let me go there real quick. We spent a lot of time in the pit. So this one would have been okay, here's 3 weeks. This is starting October 13th and going all the way through October 31st, okay? So we went long AbbVie. We took a bonus on GLW, took a profit on GLW, went long Tesla, took a profit on Tesla, took a UNH for a swing, gave you a bonus key time spread, went long Tesla, took a profit on keys, went long SLB, took a profit on SLB, took a profit on UNH from the previous week, went long coin, bonus strangle on MO right here. See, this is just me doing whatever I want to do. And I'll tell you the kind of trades we do here in a minute. But basically, these were all closed out, or most of these were closed out at a profit. As a matter of fact, I think they were all closed out at a profit. That's a profit. That's a profit. That's a profit. AbbVie. AbbVie. That was from 3 weeks earlier. So that was the last loss we had, folks. So the last loss I took in the pit was on October 29th, and that was from a trade we put on in the beginning of October. So the last loser we had in the pit, and we do 1 to 2 trades a day, is from a trade I took in the beginning of October. I'm going to repeat that again. The last official trade that we closed from a loser in the pit was AbbVie, that we initiated from the beginning of October. Just want to make sure you guys got that. Me too, Murray. Me too. Birthday time. Yeah. Hey, nice for you, Kevin. Well, Kevin didn't even. Yeah. So now you understand the power of the pit, and this is what happens when you leave me and Clyde alone, and just let us do our business. Hold on, I need to add Microsoft to the short list. One second. See, I'm adding a stock to a short list. Add MST to short watch list. All right. That's me being active in the pit again. And on top of all those trades, the 420, 30 trades, I've also given about 450 bonus trades, and their win rate's a little lower. I think it's about 90, not 94%. I think it's 89 to 90%. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, let me explain to you. Yeah, it's not me who calls them out. It's Clyde. Okay, it's Clyde is responsible for everything. We all know the dark secrets that are around here. Yeah, exactly. That's right. We'll talk all about that, Ted, in a few minutes. Okay. These days, the market is random at best. Yes, Cyrus, but we've been getting a 94% win rate regardless. Okay, so what type of trades do I do in the pit? Let me see if I could write that down for you. I find that when I'm writing things down for you, people, I have a magic ball right here. See, I have a crystal ball. T-Bus gave it to me. I complained that the last one wasn't working well, so he gave me another one. It's working about just the same. I know it's made in China. All right, so you could see my screen, right, Raleigh?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm having too much. Yeah. So we do directional swing trades. We do directional day trades. We do directional pullback trades. We don't do any reversal trades. There's no reversal trades. Now, what about non-directional trades? Okay. We do time spreads. We do strangles. Yes, if you guys don't behave yourselves, we'll put a strangle on you. And we do straddles. And we're going to start experimenting this week or maybe next week. I've already started doing this with Richard and a couple of other folks with diagonals. All right. Oop, my spelling. Hold on. My spelling sucks. Okay. These are non-directional trades. Okay. So these are trades that we take to the long and short side. Okay. By the way, remember that story I told you about when we did 160 trades and we had a 96% win rate? Well, what I didn't tell you was that during that time, the market, Matt, was breaking the 50-day moving average. Does that remind you of anything? Does that remind you guys of anything? The market breaking down the 50-day moving average? Take a look at 2 summers ago. It was exactly what was going on. So about 60 to 70% of those trades with a 96% win rate, they were to the short side. So we trade bullish, bearish, and sideways. So let me give you some idea of the kind of trades we do, okay? Is this educational, guys? Are you getting some value out of this? Hold on, I got to check Microsoft. Hold on. It's breaking down. All right. All right. So let's talk about these. These are trades that we procure in the procure, isn't it procure? Yeah, procure in the using, hold on a second, using Pro Trader dashboard. Okay. So we use the Pro Trader dashboard and we use the 1 hour setting at 3 to 3:30 p.m. We look for directional A-line trades that Matt doesn't want to give you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Blame him. Don't blame me. And let's see for swing trades. Directional swing trades that don't fit criteria for regular programs. So basically, let's say there's a swing trade and it's an A line, but it's a little overextended and I can't give it to you in A line, or the options are too expensive, or whatever it is. I shove it into the pit. Okay. That goes into the pit. Okay. Directional day trades, high momentum trades on stocks with heavy volume. Pullback trades off the VWAP back towards the high of the day. Exactly, Yakov. You tell him. You hear Matt? He's threatening you. He's going to cut off your overall straps. I think that's a good idea, Yakov. That's not such a bad idea. I like where you're going with this. All right. All right. Bring those snippers with you on the live class. No, Joel, some of them are day trades, some of them are swing trades. A lot of people hold the day trades and turn them into swing trades. Just depends. It depends. It depends what percentage are day trade. It just depends on what's going on with the market, you know. But remember, this doesn't include the bonus trades. Remember, I've had 421 regular. See, let me explain something interesting to you guys. This is something that a lot of you guys are not realizing. Even if you're in my regular swing trading program, no matter how many swing trades the pit gives you, it's still going to give you more swing trades than a regular program, you see? Because I'm giving 1 to 2 trades a day, not 1 or 2 per week. You see the difference? So again, look, I'll explain who the pit is for and who the pit is not for. We're just getting started on this. But I think this is important for me to kind of break down what I do there. I think it gives you guys a really good understanding of what I actually do in the pit, you know, because I'm in there all day long. I'm literally all day. I'm in there. Oh, I missed that Microsoft trade. God darn it. But I'm in there all day long. Okay. And if I'm not there, then Clyde is there. So we do pullback trades off of the VWAP. We also do high momentum tick solo candle trades. Those are my favorites. Those are trades where a stock is moving really, really strong and Trump will say something or somebody will say something. Usually it's Trump, or there's an announcement from a company that impacts other companies, and the SPY is going like this straight up, and it just starts coming off, and you know the news is going to last like 10 seconds. The stock comes off a little bit. You look at the tick, you see that the tick is not down that much, and you go long, and you get like a pop within a minute or two. Those are like 95% win rate trades, 96%. So high momentum tick solo candle trades, we take those. What else do we do in the pit? Let's see. The VWAP trades, the high momentum trades on volume, high momentum tick solo trades. Those are all day trades. Okay. All right. So let's just separate this here. Separate this. I do too. I do too. I believe in him too. I'm on your side, Cyrus. So, and then, directional pullback trades here. Directional pullback trades. Yeah. Let's move that from here. Oh, I already pulled back trades off the view up towards the high of the day. Yeah, that's the pullback trade. So we got 3 trades here, 3 trades there. Now, non-directional spreads. What are time spreads? These are these are trades that we put on to take advantage of earnings. Like you guys would buy a call or a put before earnings, which is something I would not do. As a matter of fact, I do the opposite, but I do a time spread to take advantage of earnings. Okay. Um, so I do trade earnings very actively, but I do it in a very smart way where our win rate is really, really high. Okay. All right. Um, Nobody's complaining about those. And that's why we're updating data miner so we can do more time spreads. We do straddles and again, why does it do that? We do strangles and straddles after big report comes out looking for non-directional secondary move. Same as above, is depending on what costs better. Okay. And diagonals. This is something I'm just getting into with you guys right now. I'm like literally, I just
Just
started explaining.
introduced it yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like I said, when we're just getting into it, this is, and then again, I battle test everything in the pit. Um, Taking advantage of income when stocks are doing nothing, which is about 80% of the time. Basically, a stock is just kind of doing this, not really going up or down, just sitting there. So we can basically buy a put that expires 2 months from now and sell puts every week towards it to protect. That's our anchor. That's our protection. It's like a covered call, but we're doing it with puts. Okay. And usually we could do it very, 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 very cheap. Okay. Thanks, Dr. Luke. I appreciate it. So getting back to so understand. Let's say the markets are moving nice and steady, right? We can we got this to work with. We got our directional trades that we put in at the end of the day for the next morning. We After earnings, Cyrus, we take advantage of A-line trades that Matt doesn't like, and we take advantage of swing trades that don't fit perfectly into like gap to green, something that doesn't look right, something that's against our rules, but I still like it. Can I put all this in the Telegram? Sure, I can. Yeah, I will. Let me just finish it all. Yeah, Donald, I'll put this in the Telegram for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Raj, I'll watch the chat, buddy.
Yeah,
We got a lot of ground to cover here. You don't
yeah,
need these distractions, guys.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
let
yeah, yeah,
Roger
yeah.
focus here.
Yeah, thank you. You let Raleigh do his job. So this is what you need. So you know what? I'm going to write this down here. When markets are humming along without issues, their stocks are just kind of not like right now, but they're just, sitting above their 8 day and just kind of hovering. What they do 80% of the time. Uh, Best strategy. Okay. When markets are choppy, unpredictable, and two-sided. Does that sound familiar to you? Oh, with little follow through. Okay. So you got these trades. That's when the markets are just all over the place. This is great. This is great. When markets are just humming along, this is great. When markets are crazy, this is great. So here, there's a method to all of this. Uh, immediately before earnings. After news. Test spreads. So yeah, Ed, I'll post it for you guys.
Hey, you're looking at the chat,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You take care of all that. Sorry. I'm just
Seriously,
gonna close it. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna
just
close it.
close it.
I closed it. I closed it. Yeah. I just closed it. I closed it. It's just easier for me to close it. Okay. So right here. So you don't know what's happening with the stock. Okay. Immediately before earnings, time spread. Immediately after news or earnings, you got the strangle or your straddle. And then after earnings, you've got diagonals. So market is moving either up or down, just very steadily. Remember, I told you the most difficult time is right here when the markets are doing this. So right now we're here. We're here. When we get out of this, we're going to get back to here, which will last a year or two or maybe three. And then when there are specific situations with specific stocks, you've got this. So you want to trade news events, you want to trade earnings, you want to do all that. God bless. There's ways to do it. You've got tools right here to do it. But this is how most of you trade this. You're using this or this to trade this. That's not how you do it. So what I'm doing in the pit is I'm trading appropriately, the right technique at the right time for the right event. And that gives you a huge edge. And as a result, I don't just put the trade on, I give you a walkthrough and I explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. For example, I'll say, hey, this stock is going to have earnings tomorrow. Implied volatility on an option that expires this week is 3 times higher than next week. Here's our reason why. We don't know where it's going to go because it's earnings. It's a binary event, but we could take advantage. We could take advantage of it this way. So that's what we do. These are bonus trades in the pit. And how many have I given in the last 3 months? Maybe 20, 30. I give them all the time. Let's say a news comes out and a stock drops 10 points. And I find out that the ATR on that stock is $5, but the options that expire that week are only $2. That's a straddle or a strangle right there. Or let's say the stock already had earnings and the puts are still pretty pricey. I can sell those puts and use them to finance further puts and just continually taking premium. So one of the things that you guys are doing wrong is you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole because you don't understand when to do which strategies. Another thing is you're not taking implied volatility into account. And number 3, you don't know your edge for each of these strategies in the right market environment. You don't have that information. You haven't been doing this for 31 years. If you do, you don't need me. But fortunately, I have. And by the way, since we launched the pit, has anything changed? No, not one thing. It's as boring as ever. We do keep doing the same thing over and over again, every single day, over and over and over again. Okay, so this I'm going to. So by the way, this right here, we're just going to start doing this now because we're done with earnings season, and you don't have to wait for earnings season, but you could do news announcements too. But this is something you could do on any stock that's basically not doing anything. So those stocks you guys send me charts of, Roger, and I'm like, it's not moving. It's not moving. It's not moving. Well, if it's not here. And if it's not here, the odds are it'll fit this category right here. All of those stocks you send me, and I'm like, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's almost ready. It's almost ready. That you check to see if they're good for diagonals, and we're about to start doing them in the pit. As I mentioned, I just started teaching you guys how to do it just the other day. Assuming our win rate is what I think it's going to be, and our profit factor, most importantly, is going to be, we'll launch it as a separate service. But at least for the first 3 to 6 months, I'll give you guys free trades in the pit. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
And all the details associated with it. You give them everything that they need to know to place the trade and when to get out, right, Raj?
everything. What Clyde does in the pit. All
I
right.
expect like 40 questions as to who's Clyde.
Nah, they all know. They all
They
know.
all know who Clyde
They all
is.
know Clyde. They all know
Hey, and
Clyde.
while you're doing that, Roger, just another question that came up. I thought it was a pretty good one from Dana. He said, so with the diagonals, if your weekly pits go against you and you get exercised, you just exercise your monthly puts to cover those?
The answer is yes, but one second. Let me just pose. That's a
Yeah.
good question. Let me just
Yeah,
pose
we'll come
this.
back and revisit that.
No. It's a good question. I'm going to do it right now. Here, what Clyde does in the pit. I just posted it for you guys in the Telegram channel. Okay, you guys should see it in the regular Telegram channel. Okay, that was a good question. You got my attention. So repeat the question.
So
Do you
with
exercise? Yeah,
diagonals, if
yeah.
your weekly pits go against you and get exercised, you just exercise your monthly puts to cover those?
That's the worst case scenario. Yes, the the most likely scenario is because we're actually selling out of the money because we're not trying to go for the gold here. We're just trying to go where the stock will not go. We'll just reposition ourselves. So in the worst case scenario, yes, if it's exercise. But here's the thing. The only time, and this is I need you guys to understand this. A lot of you don't understand this. And if you understand it, you won't ask the same question over and over again. Okay, why do you think an option gets exercised against you? Let's see. I'm going to open the chat for this one, Raleigh. I
Okay,
just want
yeah.
to see what people. I just want to
Yep.
see what people say. Why do you think? Why do you think you get exercised against? Yakov says it's strike zone. Remains Premium remains high. Cheaper to get the market offers. No. Yes, Sean. Yes, he's actually right. I did that yesterday, Sandy. Uh, no, it's not because the options are in the money. Okay. It's not because of time decay. It's not because it's someone is taking profit. It's not because option becomes in the money. It's not because it's profitable for the holder. It's not because of any of those things. It's not because it's in the strike zone. It's actually, ironically, it's because of what Sean just said. I'm going to give Sean credit. Okay. The only reason, the only reason the option you will be exercised is if it's cheaper for the option buyer to exercise that option than going and buying it from the supermarket or the exchange, like, as I call it, the supermarket. Okay. So the only time it's cheaper and makes his worthwhile to do that is right before expiration, or if the option goes deep in the money, like Microsoft went against us deep in the money. So because an option that goes deep in the money doesn't have much time premium, regardless of what it is. It's mostly intrinsic value. So I want you guys to see. I'm trying to explain to you the root cause of something. You're not looking at the root cause. If you understand the root cause, then you'll understand the why, and then you'll have an aha moment. Okay. The only time the option gets exercised is when it's cheaper to exercise the option than go and buy the shares on the exchange. You understand? The only time that would happen is if the option does not have any more time value. And the only time that would happen is right before expiration, an hour or two before expiration, or if it's deep in the money. We wouldn't hold this position we wouldn't be in either of those positions in this situation. But if it did happen, yes, you would just roll over. But I want you guys to understand why something gets exercised. So if you have an option and it's still worth 10 cents, it's not going to be exercised because he has to pay 10 cents extra to exercise it. He can just go and buy it. Do you understand? Why would I want to spend 10 cents on something if I could just sell that option and make 10 cents and go to the market and buy it? I want you guys to understand this. See, it's a fundamental understanding I want you to have. It's not because of this. It's for one reason only. Because that option, it's cheaper to exercise that option than to go and buy those shares. Do you understand me? Do you guys understand? Which means the only time you would be subject to exercise is when the option has no value. When does the option have no value? When right before, like an hour or two before exercise, right before expiration, or if it's like 3-4 strike prices in the money. You understand?
Well, you know what's interesting here, Roger? I mean, every time that question comes up, it comes from a point of people are going like, "This is the worst thing that can happen to me is I'm going to be exercised. How do I avoid being exercised?" It's not the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah. Star Dog, assignment is exercise. Okay.
Yep.
When somebody exercises the option, you get assigned. We're saying this. You're saying the same thing we are. We're all saying the same thing. So I want you guys to understand. If you understand why it happens, you're not going to be as fearful of it happening because you'll check your options. You'll see that the options still have some value, and then you'll know how far you can go without having to liquidate your options. Because if they have some value, nobody wants them. Do you understand? Nobody wants to exercise options that have value. Okay. Just want to
I
make sure.
like this comment from I think what is it from Rebecca says I've been through several options classes and I never heard that before, Roger.
I,
It's another
I,
reason to come here every day, folks.
yeah. Well, think about because you got why, Rebecca? Because everybody's thinking about it like it's some kind of a book, but nobody actually asks the question, why? Why would they want to why? Why would they want to exercise your option? Think about this. Why would they want to remember if they exercise your option, they have to pay the cost and they have to buy or sell the shares. Why not just bypass you and go to the market and sell those shares without any premium? It doesn't make any sense, you see?
Yep.
See, Colleen says that's why I wanted you guys. See, once you have that understanding, you won't be asking me that question. Does it happen here? Does it happen there? Does it happen when it goes there? It goes when the option has no more value. If it has any implied value aside from intrinsic value, right? Then that option is not attractive to be exercised. Yeah, you understand. Remember, dollars, nobody lies when it comes to money.
Yeah, never.
People lie, people talk, people lie, but when it comes to money, money doesn't, it's always going to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. If an option has premium, why would somebody want to exercise it if they can just liquidate it and save them and take that and debit it against so look. Let's say the option costs 10 cents, okay? Still has 10 cents value, okay? And the stock costs $10, okay? Why would I want to spend $10.10 if I could spend $9.90?
Yep.
Why would I do that? Am I stupid? Why would I do that?
Right.
Okay.
So something else I want to mention here real quickly, Roger, because I know we're moving on. A lot of people have been asking some great questions about diagonals. And folks, I'm posting here for everyone a link to the VIP trade room. It's in Roger's YouTube channel. And if you go to yesterday's VIP trade room, you're going to see an entire presentation that Roger focused on the introduction of diagonals, what they are. He gave some examples. He talked exhaustively how to set it up, and it's all there. And that was in yesterday's VIP room. You can easily go there and get that. The other thing was this, Roger, are you going to post that write-up that you just did?
I already did.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that. I missed it.
I'm fast. I multitask.
Where did you put it in the chat or did you put it in the Telegram?
Oh, no. I put it in the Telegram. I forgot to put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat for you.
Okay. And the other thing is this, because once again, we so quickly went on a tangent, Roger, and I just want to come back and revisit something that you shared after you wrote that document. The takeaway for me, Roger, is that in the pit, this is your room. This is the way you trade the markets. You have a strategy no matter what the market is doing. You have a complete tool set at your disposal. And depending on what the market's doing or a sector is doing or whatever is happening, you've got a strategy and you know how to use it. And I think your point was for many of us as traders, if the only tool we have is a hammer, the only thing we can use it for is beating a nail, but we need more tools in our tool chest.
Exactly, exactly. So a lot of you guys are like, give me this kind of trade or give me that kind of trade. Or how about I give you the right trade for the, it brings up a very good point. I was actually reading about this. You know me, I'm a fashionista, as you guys know, right? I'm being really sarcastic right now. I don't care, but I mean, I'll dress whatever my wife has that's clean. But I was reading an interesting article. It's right about what you're talking about right now, Raleigh. I was reading an interesting article, and somebody was asking someone online. I don't even remember where I was reading this, but it was about how to dress well. And somebody said the person that dresses the best is not the person that wears the best looking or the most expensive outfit. It's the person that dresses the most accurate for that occasion. And I said, that is, I said, that's why I remember things like this. I remember all this nonsense things like this that I read. And I said, that is so true, because it's absolutely true. Because you know what? There's nothing worse. You've all been to a party, right? You've all been to like a party and somebody comes way overdressed and they look really funny, or you get invited to a wedding and somebody comes wearing sneakers. Right? So it's not good or bad. It's what's appropriate for the occasion. Right? It's what's appropriate. Well, guess what? Every market condition has appropriate strategies for their conditions. And if you don't know what those strategies are, you've got me. At least somebody here knows what they're for. And usually after I explain it to people and I'm like, well, here we do this, there we do that, they're like, huh, how come nobody ever explained it to me? Why did this guy write an 800-page option book giving every strategy, but he couldn't explain where to use this strategy? Context. What's the word I always come back to? What do I give you that nobody else gives you? Context. You know how you separate real traders from baloney artists? Context.
Context,
People
yes.
who have never experienced something don't have stories. They don't have context. People who've actually been through the loops have context. They can draw from context, from experience. Think about what I'm saying. It's like dancing. Are you going to dance the same way to every song? Of course not. If you do, then you're going to look stupid. But you slow song, you're not going to see me do my chuka dance today. But Matt, can you hook me up?
Yep.
Thanks.
And go ahead. And Roger, just real quickly, the link that you posted was to the slide presentation. We need the link for the document.
Link for the document.
The document that you created with what Clyde does in the pit. So I think you inadvertently posted in the chat panel the link to the presentation.
Raleigh, you got to watch me like a hawk.
Like a hawk.
Here, right here. Sorry, man. I am so sorry.
No problem.
I had it on the cut and paste for myself, and I thank you.
There we go.
There it
Let me
is.
check.
So
there
sorry.
you go. There you go, folks. So it's in the Telegram and it's here. But Roger, what a great cheat sheet. I mean, this is phenomenal.
No problem. But I think this will give you. So I'm about to talk about the pit for the next 45 minutes, give you some numbers, give you some trades, give you some examples, give you some testimonials. But I wanted to kind of give you an outline to explain to you that after we launched the pit, here's where I was going with all of this. After we launched the pit, people realized that they could do things that they never in a million years dreamed they could do before, because they've seen me do it over and over and over again. And it's given people the kind of, thank you, sir. It's given people the kind of confidence to buy their daughters cars, quit their jobs, become multimillionaires, and do all sorts of things like that. So I hope you take advantage of the pit, and I hope you actually want to spend some time with me because I'm in the pit all day long. Matt's in the trading zone live all day long, and I'm in the pit all day long. Although I do peek my nose into a trading zone live once in a while too, but I'm in the pit all the time. So folks, please spend this time with me and pay attention because if you had a couple of aha moments, you're going to have more in the next few minutes. Profits performance, they're not typical, but actually every trade here has been put into the Telegram channel. All right. There's not one trade here that's hypothetical. Okay. Everything we're going to show you is between October 30th of 2023 and November 18th. Wow, that's today. They actually updated this thing. My God, I can't believe this. The audit took real trades and applied options to them. And for all those other trades, the non-directional trades, I give you the options and all that. I give you all that stuff. And those are all swing trades. Okay, those are not day trades. So we applied that. The results so far, not on the bonus trades, on the actual trades, is 94.10% on 421 trades. The last loser I took was AbbVie, which was in the beginning of October. The result is a 94.10% win rate, and our per trade average return is about 10.3%. And I'm going to tell you something. People don't like the pit. They're addicted to the pit. And if you don't believe me, I'm pretty sure people here will tell you that. There is nothing in this world like the pit. Okay. You know how I know that? Because nobody puts 150% into anything like I do. Nobody. Therefore, I know there is nothing like the pit. All right. Now, there will be losers. We've had 25 losers, I believe, in 2 years. Yes, I take losers too. We've had 421 trades, and we've had 25 losers. And you tell me trading is random, okay? There will be losers. There's no black box miracle system. If you can't handle losing trades, please paper trade. My name is Roger Scott. By the end of this broadcast, you're going to get a chance to join me and 1,700 other people for what could be the 397th winning trade. Let me explain. I've spent the past 2 years navigating the markets with what might be the most advanced trading tool that exists. It's a revolutionary software that tracks the moves of institutional investors in real time, which means you could now pile into the exact same stocks institutions are buying as it's happening. Like right here, I knew institutions were likely loading up on cybersecurity Okta within an hour of the market opening. Sure enough, 45% in an hour. Watch it happen again 2 days later. Most traders had no clue that HIMS was being heavily accumulated 1 hour into the trading session. But thanks to our brand new tool, I knew it was a surefire bet to search higher for the rest of the day. As expected, that's what happened. 52% in 1 hour. And again on Palantir, 73% in 3 hours. In fact, we've been crushing it last month despite the market volatility. That's 26 from 28 in October. And the two losers, by the way, ironically, the two losers were bonus trades. That it wasn't planned out that way. Don't take my word for it. I've spoon-fed this to over 1,700 people in a private Telegram channel. And when I say we've been crushing it, I'm really downplaying it. What do they have to say for themselves? Chris, my account is up 182%. Carlos, I've made 5,000 month to date, 91% success rate. Brett, I could now trade full-time for a living. Shelton, 2,000 to 17,000. Randy, 90% plus win rate. DJ Dave, 6,800 in July. I like that. This morning, I sent Roger my results from January. Richie's making a lot more than $50,000. He's right there. He's going to get up to Omar pretty soon. Kirk, the value of my portfolio has increased even with the withdrawals since October. 58,000 earned 12,900. That's Texas Kirk. HG, $2,000 a day goal. I like that. Gregory, 300,000 milestone. Congratulations, Gregory. Congratulations. I've had over 100 successful trading experiences from your alerts. If people still question if this is a real deal or not, it is, Roddy. And we took a nice AMD trade this morning, by the way. I got a couple of nice emails there too. That's Omar. That's when Omar was making $354,000 in his account. Now he's made 250,000 yesterday. This is a while ago. You could see the equity curve right there. See how it says 408,000? We're add another zero and a five in front of it now. Oh yeah, it's like that. It's like that. In fact, Omar sent me this yesterday. I made over $250,000. That's yesterday. That's yesterday. And he didn't always have a large account. At one point, he had a small account. He started with a small account and he built it up. That was yesterday's gains, okay? Now, as great as those stories are, it's not even what gets me the most hot and bothered. Since 2023, I've leveraged this game-changing system to give 396 official trades with a staggering 94.10% win rate. On real alerts, there's no back testing here. Take a look at a top handful after my team applied options. Roku, 40% in 1 hour. NVIDIA, 44 in 1 hour. AbbVie, 82 in an hour. Meta, 116 overnight. Now, there were smaller winners, and there were 25 that didn't work out, folks. So don't think I have a crystal ball, okay? But if you would have put 2,000 into each of those 4 trades, you could have walked away with over $7,640 in cash. And your money would have been tied up in the market for less than 4 hours. Now, do you see why I'm not really concerned about what will happen this year, next year, the year after that, all that stuff? I'm not concerned about it at all. Now, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But the point is this. We've had 94.1% rate on 396 winning trades already. It's a pretty good year. It's not just the 94% win rate that gets me hot and bothered. It's the fact that the internal audit shows that anybody who took these trades with the selected options could have started with just $5,000 and turned it into 40, 80, 100. You wait and see. So if you want my year-end forecast and you want to see how I plan to leverage the most game-changing system that I've ever developed, well, actually, it's several systems, plus my top stock picks for the rest of 2025, completely free. Post yes in the chat. What are you waiting for? All right. And every trade is in the Telegram channel with a timestamp. Like, let me show you an example. We're not on any kind of rush, are we, Raleigh?
No, we are not. We're wide open, buddy.
So here, this is me today. I start off with Clyde. This is what Clyde does during the day. Shameless. Shameless, isn't he, Raleigh?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. He's shameless. All right. So
I don't know who his tailor is.
you don't want to know. Adding AMD to short watch list. I'm posting it in the wrong channel. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Did I post it in the wrong? Oh, here it is. Let's take AMD short. Right here. Oh, that's that one I did on my own today. Okay. 227.80 out at 226.80. It can go down to 225. Now at 227 if you missed 226.70 if you missed it. Now I'm going on to somewhere else, and here's a nice email. Made 10% on AMD, and I posted another one here for Mary. Made 11% on AMD. We just keep trucking along. Keep trucking along. All right, let's do it. All right, let me introduce myself and tell you why you should at least listen to me a little bit. Okay. I've been doing this in January will be 32 years. Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time. One of my clients, I personally was a private trader for the Bronfman family. The Bronfman family was the richest family in Canada, and they are still one of the top 10 richest families in the world. You might have heard of them. They own brands like Seagram's, Universal Studios, Time Warner, those guys, those little companies. So I used to be their private trader. They only had one private trader, and it was me. And I worked there from 2000 to 2008. During that period of time, I also ran institutional money. My partners included Kevin Hassett, the current senior financial advisor to our country for the second term in a row. He is in line to take over Powell's job. I also worked with Charles Kalamiris, who actually introduced me to Kevin. Charles is the senior financial, he is the economics professor at Columbia University. He's been there for about 30 years. Both him and Hassett advised the White House and have been advising the White House since the early 90s. I've worked with over 500,000 people, and I've worked with two guys who were actually in the Market Wizards book, and the Market Wizards book is considered the greatest book that's ever been written on trading. All right, I think I've done that in less than 60 seconds. Now, before I give you a chance to join me for what could be the 397th winning trade, you need to know there's no magic pill in trading that wins 100% of the time. And I'm sure folks here already know that. Every good trader has their fair share of winners and losers along the way. After doing this for 31 years and after having shared my work with over 500,000 people, I'm going to make an admission. Most people think it's laughable to be a full-time active trader. Why? Well, because of all the nonsense you see and hear, and the 90% of people lose money in the markets. Ask Omar if he thinks it's stupid to be a full-time trader. Ask Richard if it's stupid to be a full. Ask them, see what they say. Yeah, let's see who laughs first. Okay. Most traders find it hard to stay consistent in the stock market because they have one major problem. And this is something. If you guys can't understand this, you're not going to get very far. Wall Street is run by institutions. Institutions is where the money is. If you can't figure out what institutions are doing in real time, not insider trading, that's not what I'm talking about. Institutions are doing in real time, you're going to have a problem. Okay? Institutional order flow is what moves the market. Okay? I'm talking about smart money managers who collect billions in fees. 401k, high net worth individuals, billion-dollar accounts, okay? People who trade with Citadel, with Steve Cohen, these guys, right? These guys. Huge orders that literally move the share price 1, 2, even 5% in the process. They are the heartbeat of the market. The problem is the majority of retail traders don't have access to trading software that could track order flow in real time, okay? I'm not talking about the insider option nonsense. That's nonsense. Even a Bloomberg terminal, you have to program it, and it's awful. I saw one guy here at the pub. He's no longer with us. You guys remember Jeff Z? Jeff Z used to use a Bloomberg terminal. It was awful, awful. And today, it all changes because I made my own platform. It's called the Pro Trader Dashboard. And the Pro Trader Dashboard is the tool that I use to generate trades that we give you guys in the pit. Okay, I'm using the Pro Trader Dashboard all day long. Now, when you have a way to detect which stocks institutional traders are buying or selling right now, all you got to do is ride the coattails of their massive buy orders. Like November 2nd, I knew as it was happening that institutional traders were likely buying up millions of shares of Roku 1 hour after the market opened. You know how? Because it was number one on my list. That's how I knew. So I sent out an alert at 10:26, and I show you exactly which options to trade. There's one rule. There not takes you about a second to figure it out. At 10:26, sure enough, Roku went pretty good. Vivek, Michael, Brett, they all made money. And then a few days later, my system showed that Datadog was under strong institutional accumulation 1 hour after the market opened. As expected, DDOG ripped higher for the rest of the day. I'm up 120% on DDOG. People have made money on DDOG. And the same thing, CrowdStrike, just a couple hours later. BB, Brian, John, Robinson, they made money. Institutional traders don't buy stocks like you or I do. When we buy stocks, our orders fill in one shot without moving the share price. Hello, Mr. Broker. Yes, how can I help you today? Oh, I'd like to place an order. Yes, what would you like to do? I'd like to buy 5 million shares of Uber. What the? It doesn't work that way, all right? The SEC will be calling you in less than 15 seconds. You can't buy all those shares at the same price because you're going to move the market. You got to separate the order into parent-child orders. You got to use the VWAP. I made a class about it. It's called the Full-Time Trading Bootcamp. A 5 million share order would instantaneously send, you would be jumping all over yourself. It's no good. What do? You put your automated trading algos to work for you. You program them to fill these huge orders in small lots throughout the day. That's how you create this kind of an intraday grind, which Pro Trader Dashboard finds so well. So well. Any dips are immediately bought up by the algos looking to fill that huge $5 million share block. When a stock is under heavy buying pressure, it has strong intraday relative strength compared to the rest of the market. The key is finding which stocks have the strongest intraday relative strength within the first hour of the trading day. That way, you can ride the algo buying spree all day long. How do we do it? Let me show you. Take a look at SPY on November 20th. It was up 1% on the day. Verizon, on the other hand, was one of the strongest stocks in the S&P 500, up nearly 3.5% on the day. That means intraday relative strength was about as strong as it gets for Verizon. The smart money likely had their trading algos programmed to accumulate Verizon shares all day long. If you would have known that within the first hour of the day, like we did, you would have rode the algo buying spree for the rest of the day. Doug, JC, Kathy, they all made out like bandits. Watch it happen again on Seagate, STX. And again, every one of these trades was time-stamped. These are not some hypothetical mumbo-jumbos. 1 hour into the day, we knew that STX had strong intraday relative strength compared to the spider. It did. That means that institutional algos were likely gearing up to accumulate STX shares all day long. All you would have had to do was buy STX knowing it was likely going to grind higher throughout the day. And sure enough, STX went on a baboom spree. Top traders like Bob sold STX for 254% gain. Gets even better. By the way, you guys know this Bob. That's Bob who keeps he's
Bob
our
Elmore.
actuary.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our actuary on the morning show. He gave me that testimonial like 2 years ago. Still here, nothing has changed. Notice people keep coming. The same people keep coming over and over and over again. Even those that have already figured it out. You know why? Because we're not full of you know what. We're the real deal around here. It gets even better. Intraday relative strength analysis doesn't just work to the upside. It works beautifully to the downside. Matter of fact, it works better to the downside because the moves are faster. Like AMD this morning, for example. Let's say you're smart money and you want to sell 5 million shares of Uber instead. You can't just dump all those shares on the market at once. Otherwise, it will crash the share price. So what do? You program your algos to liquidate 5 million shares throughout the day in very small chunks. That creates a steady grind down in share price all day long. When a stock is under heavy institutional selling pressure, it has weak intraday relative strength compared to the rest of the market. By the way, if you do what we're doing right now at 3 o'clock, that's how we set it up for swing trades. I know a lot of folks that's how we set up the swing trades. This exactly what I'm showing you right now, but not at the open, but at 3 o'clock. Okay?
3. Yep.
Yeah. That way you could ride the trend throughout the day. Just like November 1st with ticker VFC. If you would have known that VFC had weak intraday relative strength compared to the rest of the market, in fact, it was the weakest stock in the S&P 1 hour into the session, you could have placed one quick trade during the first hour of the day and then bagged a huge payday before the closing bell. Michael made more than enough to cover the average monthly income payment. That's nice. Think about it for a minute, folks. Extra $3,000 from a day trade could do a lot of good for a lot of people right now. Maybe cover a car payment or two, maybe pay down some credit card debt, or even pay for a relaxing weekend getaway, all from one trade that only took a few hours. Now, we all know that there's no guarantees when it comes to trading. There will be smaller wins and losers along the way too. That's why I always say to never invest more than you're willing to risk. But in all of my years as professional traders, I found that measuring a stock's intraday relative strength during the initial hour of the trading is the best indicator of its future direction. And that's exactly why I built the state-of-the-art trading platform to track it. That's how I use it to find stocks. Oh, it's Graham. Institutions are likely buying or selling within the first hour of the day. Let's say you want to find stocks that have strong intraday relative strength. Pull up the relative strength scanner, run a relative strength scan for the strongest stocks in the market. Buy in because the stocks with the strongest relative strength are stocks that institutions are likely accumulating. And by the way, I know the copywriter wrote here within the first hour, but it leads it to you to believe that I don't do it throughout the day. But the truth is, I don't know why he wrote the first hour. What I don't do it the first half hour, and then I do it throughout the entire day. So I don't limit it to the first hour. I limit it. I start at 10:01 and I do it till about 3:30. just so you know, okay? For example, on November 6th, 1 hour after the market opened, Microsoft had strong intraday relative strength. The hourly relative strength showed it was the strongest stock in the S&P. I used that hourly scan a lot towards the end of the day. So I sent out the alert on Microsoft at 10 o'clock in the morning, knowing algos were likely going to accumulate the stock all day long. All day long. Sorry about that. Microsoft outperformed the SPY by a factor of 6-1. All right. And a lot of you guys made a lot of money as a result. Watch it happen with Intel, another trade we nailed just a few days later. On November 16th, Intel had strong intraday strength compared to the SPY. It was the second strongest stock on the hourly relative strength scan for the day. I sent out an alert letting folks know that Intel was being accumulated, okay? And just like that, Intel went ba-boom while the S&P went nowhere. Jeff, Kathy, BB, they all made money. Now, it works the same way to the downside. On November 16th, Tesla had weak intraday relative strength compared to the SPY. It was the weakest stock in the market an hour after the market opened. That's when I begin really getting into it. I don't anything the first hour is usually noise, you know. I sent out an alert, and like clockwork, Tesla started going down. And again, the shorts work exactly like the longs. There's no statistical difference between them. And a lot of you guys made a lot of money doing that. Now, it's important to remember that no system is perfect. We've had losers along the way. I think we've had 25 losers in 2 years, which kind of sounds silly, but we've had 25 losers in 2 years. We've made out with a 94.10 win rate. And I think it's safe to say that after 396 winning trades, that doesn't count the bonus trades. I give just as many bonus trades. With only 25 losers since we started 2 years and 2 weeks ago, 2025 is definitely looking good. So listen and listen good. You can keep toying around with these chaotic markets, looking for outdated indicators and chart patterns. You can keep worrying about recessions. You can keep hoping that the markets will make all-time highs or all-time lows. You can cut all that nonsense out and take charge of your financial future. Tap into the most powerful market force that actually exists. Real-time institutional order flow. Folks, I'm officially inviting you in 1,708 people inside my most exclusive group yet, the Trading Pit. It's the only place where you get me, literally what I'm doing. 1 to 2 active alerts per day on stocks institutions are likely buying. I'm so focused on this sometimes that I forget to take the trade in my own account. I'm not kidding. I was telling Richie and the guys that I really do care about you. I'm like the mechanic. You know, the mechanic always forgets to fix his own car. It's the same thing here. You could take your very first trade today. I already took AMD. I'm going to look for another one. Now, before I reveal my month-end predictions, plus my top stock pick for this year, completely free, what do people say about the pit? Stu says, I've never been winning this consistently in my life. Wes, get on board. I waited too long. Big mistake. It was well worth the money. Yeah. Frosty, that's Val. He's been with me for as long as Ken's been with me for over 8 years now. I've made money every day and just bought a house cash in December. Thank you, Frosty B. His name is Val. Ken, up 50% first 10 days. Ken, he was just here a little while ago. That's Ken is post-PhD in math from MIT. Carlos, my retirement is now set. Love that. Michael, made money on almost every trade. Deb, every winner is up over 35%. Brett, get depressed on weekends when the pit is closed. Momentum is turning down, by the way, just so you know. Joanne, up 226,000. Crazy summer vacations and trips to see 3 grandkids, but still able to trade and travel. Thank you. You're welcome, Joanne. That's good. Richie started a new account in May. He's making a lot more than $315,000. Let's just put it that way. We're way past that. That's July 26th. We're way past that. And John, Richie bought his daughter a new car, and John bought his daughter a new car. We got people buying cars, houses. You see where we're going with all of this? Those are some of the best stories I've heard, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Now, before I give you out what could be our 397th trade, let me walk you through what you can expect. And I already showed you all the breakouts of the kind of trades we do. The moment my system spots a stock under heavy institutional buying or selling pressure, I'll verify the data and post it instantaneous alert via Telegram. Once you get the alert, you could take the trade straight from your cell phone. That's right. Telegram is free, and alerts are even faster than text messages. You can expect 1 to 2 action-packed alerts per day on average. Like recently, I sent out NVIDIA at 10:09. If you took the trade, and I tell you exactly what options, you'll know exactly what options to trade. Had you taken, you would have made 44% in under an hour, and then you could have closed out 2 more winners that same day. That's 28% in 2 hours. Are you in anything, Matt? Are you in anything? Okay. 65% in 1 hour. If you had put 5,000 into each trade with the selected option, you could have walked away with almost $13,000, and your money would have been exposed in the market for less than 4 hours. Everything you need to get started today can be found in your Trading Pit Getting Started guide. You'll find bonus videos, how to balance your positions, bet sizing, and so much more. That's not all. I'm also going to give you the Trading Pit write-up. This guide will help you master your emotions. And by the way, I just released my second Mind Traps. All right, my second Mind Traps. I just released it earlier this week. I have folks who read it every single day, twice a day, till they're memorized it. It's that important because the mind will screw with you. Your mind is what's going to screw you up. It's you are your biggest enemy when it comes to trading. So not only 100%, 1,000%, not only you receive 1 to 2 alerts per day, but you'll get important breaking news updates as they come. Real updates for me and Clyde and Matt. No, actually, Matt doesn't. No, Matt doesn't touch the pit. You'll have VIP assistance from U.S. customer-based team. You'll have customer service live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You'll get the emotional mind traps 1 and 2, the getting started guide, updates, and the most important thing is you get me. Now you're probably wondering, what is this going to cost you? I'm very, very proud of my track record. As a matter of fact, I cannot do better. And I'm not just saying that. This is what it is, and it's very good. And that's not 20 trades or 30 trades. That's over 421 and another 400 something, maybe even more bonus trades. And people have told me this is impossible. You're not going to be able to sustain it. You're not going to be able to do it. It's not mathematically feasible. And I just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm going to continue doing it over and over and over and over again. 94.10% win rate. And I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I think 25 losers in 2 years is pretty good. And with the 397th win coming up, I want you in on the action, because wait till you see this. If you started with $5,000 and you invested 10% of your account into each trade, you would have done pretty well. But in less than 2 years, actually about 2 years, it's been about 2 years and a week, you show that you would have gotten not 50, not 100, not 200, but a life-changing $334,000. I want to show you something interesting. You know, a lot of people who trade, they have big ebbs and flows in their accounts, drawdowns, I call them, right? Look at my equity streak. Look how it's going. Look how smooth it's moving up. That's what you get with professional trading, guys. That's how it works. Smooth equity curve. So you don't just want big gains. You want the quality of those gains to do well. And here's our last loser, AbbVie. So since AbbVie, that doesn't include today's trade. I protest. So let's see. Since AbbVie, it's funny, we had 2 AbbVies here. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 trades since AbbVie without losers, and about 30 bonus trades during that time. So I wanted to show you what's really possible. Okay, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that my publisher set the retail price at $49.95. In fact, that's what you will see there. And again, this is where I spend most of the day. I think it's more than fair considering the profit potential that I just showed you. Plus, I'm scanning the markets actively for 1 to 2 alerts per day on average, plus bonus trades. Now, here's the deal. Because you're here right now, instead of paying $49.95, I'm going to slash the retail price down to $39.95. All right. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to slash it to $29.95. But I got to warn you, this is not going to be around very long. And after that, price goes back up. So if you want the pit at the lowest price possible, you need to take action right now. You've seen the power of the tracking institutional order flow in real time, not looking at options or any crap like that, real trading in real time. You saw how $5,000 could have blossomed into $334,000, just putting in 10% into each trade. And today you have a chance to nearly save $2,000 off. So if you're really serious about making the rest of 2025 a real profitable, then get ready and click the link that Raleigh is dropping right now. There he is. He's dropping it right there. Trading Pit flash sale. Get yours now. Get it while it's hot. Click the link in the chat or go to rogerscott.com/trading or give us a call, 904-706-3539. This special price expires tonight, and then the price goes up $500. I'm just doing a flash crash sale. I wanted you guys to get in on it. I wanted you guys to know that no matter what the market does, you'll always have the pit to go to help you save the rainy day. And folks, if you're looking for something like the pit, there's nothing like it out there. Now, how can I boldly say that? Because the pit represents everything about me. And I've never met anybody even resembling anything close to me before in my life. Okay. If you have, I'd like to meet that person. Okay. My goal is for you to pay off your membership in no time at all, like many top traders have done. The pit paid for itself in my first 2 days for lifetime membership. I figure like this: if I was good enough for the richest family in Canada for 7.5 years, I'm probably good enough for you guys. You got to look at it that way, practically, right, Raleigh?
Absolutely.
You got to look at it practically. All right. Wes, I made 3 times the cost of the trading pit since I joined a month ago. Thank you, Roger. Debbie says, I honestly paid for my membership in the pit and the Pro Trader dashboard. The Pro Trader dashboard is what I use to generate those trades. That's the software. In 1 week, I've never done that with any other program. The trades I've already paid for the trading pit. Thank you. 30% gain on all the trades, already paid for the trading pit 4 times over. Alan? I love the pit. Just follow Roger, and you're going to pay for it within a week. Thank you, Kevin. Richie, so far every trade is profitable. I have repaid the money I've invested in the pit 10 times. I like that. It's good. Makes me happy. Very, very happy to hear that. The trading pit is my steady monthly income. Over 95% success. You will pay for it in a month. Lifetime. You can get lifetime too. There's an upgrade and you can get lifetime too. Roger is not kidding. I've already paid 5 times my initial investment, Glenn, because this is something I would never charge one-time lifetime fee. This is way too valuable. Unless you can get lifetime for this. You can go platinum or whatever, diamond, platinum, whatever it is they call it these days, and you can get in on this too. Nathan, those are some of the top success stories that I've heard. My goal is for you to pay off your membership even faster than Alan, Rig, Deb, and many others did. Don't wait any longer. Join the pit before the price goes up $500. Click the link in the chat or give us a call to secure your membership and save money now. And when I say save money now, I really mean this. Save money. Join today. This is about as good as it gets. It really is. This is about as good as it gets. The 396th. You don't have to buy both. You can buy one or both. It's up to you. The 396th winning trade is coming up, and can't wait to get you guys in it. Trading Pit flash sale, $29.95. To my knowledge, Trading Pit is the only place where you can get 1 to 2 active alerts per day on stocks that institutional traders are likely buying or selling as it's happening. Just recently, I sent out an alert to buy coin, 11% in 34 minutes. And then 1 hour later, we hit another winner on WBA, 26% in 2 hours. We weren't done yet because right after that, we hit another massive win on AbbVie, 82% in 2 hours. And then to finish the day strong, we hit another win on Amgen, going 4-4-4. If you would have put 5,000 into each trade, that would have turned into $11,900 $900, which would have more than enough to cover the cost of the membership and then some from 1 day of trading. Click the link, start today before price goes up $500. Flash sale. Highly recommend you guys get in on this. It's a really good bargain. Now, what do people have to say for themselves? Started with 4,000, now have over 8,000 in just 15 days. David cleared 5,000 on CVS trade. Paul has 60 wins with only 1 loss. Marshall only takes Pitts trades now. Lauren booked 2,200 on a single trade. Carlos only takes Pitts trades now. Don says he doesn't even know what losers are. It's pretty good stuff. I'm doing great in the pit so far, over 200% profit in 5 months. Roger Scott is the very best by far. I've spent over 15,000 on subscriptions and follow him. He's the first seasoned trader that I'm able to understand. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate that. It's very, 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 very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You've taught me more in the pit than all the others. Tens of thousands of dollars worth combined. If you are on the fence about buying it, you should. Buck. Thank you, Buck. And we're there from 9:30 till 4 o'clock p.m. every day. Every day. I've been trading for 25 years and have never experienced something like Roger. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Frank. You're a wizard. Total for the day, $6,413. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Roddy, 90% success rate. Angie, I've doubled my account. Brett, some of the best, even safest trades this year have been day trades. These are some of the best stories I've heard. Cannot wait to hear from you when you join us in the pit. Folks, don't mess around. Don't delay. Important announcement. After you complete your membership, don't exit the page because you'll have a chance to join me in the Pro Trader dashboard. That's the software that I use to generate the trades. And I'll take all questions as soon as we're done. I promise. Let's see. Market's looking pretty good. All right. It literally takes less than 10 seconds to install. And once it's ready to go, it pulls up the relative strength scan to find the strongest stocks. Real nice, because you want to have your strongest stocks right there. Or weakest stocks that you want to trade. We could find those too. You wait for the down arrow to signal the breakdown or the up arrow to signal a breakout. Enter the trade knowing your predetermined stop loss and profit target. And if everything works out, you can close out the trade for a nice big fat winner. This is your chance to secure access to the Pro Trader dashboard at a massive discount. Traders are loving it. What do they have to say? I've bought 5 stocks with the Pro Trader dashboard, 5 winners. Made 2,000 this morning with Tesla using your Pro Trader dashboard. 18 wins, 1 loss with the Pro Trader dashboard. Closed out 2 more winning trades this webinar. Made sure to get Pro Trader dashboard. Roger constantly teaches us to use it to make money. Jim, a couple of times in my life, I've gotten the opportunity of a lifetime. The Pro Trader dashboard is without a doubt another one of those opportunities. Andrea, thank you for making me a better trader. I love Pro Trader dashboard and have been making consistent money. Very nice. Those are some of the best stories I've heard, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Jump in now before it's too late. You've got a couple of choices. You can leave now, continue looking for the next hottest thing, keep chasing trades you shouldn't have, keep losing money repeatedly. There's a better choice. Join me and 1,700 and other people inside the pit. It's the only place in the world where you can piggyback off of hedge funds and institutional trades in real time.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Sure, secure your spot at nearly half off now. $29.95. Now, how many alerts per day? 1 to 2. 1 to 2 per day, plus bonus trades. I always give bonus trades, and the bonus trades are usually 90% of the time swing trades. Is it small account friendly? Yes. During the internal audit, the average cost per option was about $174. Is there any sort of guarantee? Yes, there's a 14-day money-back guarantee. Okay. Is it only for day trades? No, it's also for swing trades. First of all, the vast majority, you got to understand something. If I like a trade for a day trade, I like it even more for a swing trade. All my trades start out as swing trades, every one of them, okay? In fact, Chess says, I've noticed you saying every trading pit trade can be a swing trade, which is why I joined. profiting $3,193. Richie holds most of my trades as swing trades. I don't think Omar does, but I know Richie does. Plus, I give plenty of swing trades. We also do bonus spread trades. And if I give you a bonus spread trade, I'll give you the strike price expert. I'll give you everything you need. And those are all, not all, but 99% swing trades. And look at that. That Apple trade I gave right there, 400% profit, 352% profit, 250% profit, 246% profit. You could take the underlying or you could take the option. Doesn't matter. I give you both. For Michael didn't understand the trade, that Apple trade, and still made 410%. How will you receive alerts? It's all Telegram channel. Everything will come in Telegram channel. Is it beginner friendly? Yes. You'll have plenty of time to paper trade, get used to it, and it'll give you a really good structure. You could trade the option, the underlying, or you could do a debit spread, or you could do a bonus trade, which is a separate spread. What is the platform? Well, if you buy the Pro Trader dashboard, it's compatible with TradingView, Thinkorswim, and TradeStation. Okay, and yet you'll get access to customer service live from 10 to 1. Customer service live from 10 to 1. $29.95. Price goes back up $500 tonight. My year-end forecasts. All eyes are on the Fed. We now have a 50-50 chance. All right. Remember, it used to be 95%, and I said, I don't think so. Well, now it's about a 50% chance. And I don't know if they're going to do it. The truth is, nobody knows right now. And me saying one way or the other would be speculating because we don't have that Fed data that we need. We have missing data. Once we get that data, we'll be able to make a better decision. Volatility. I kept telling you, and I still am telling you the same thing. I've been saying this for a full year now, that I think we're going to remain near 20 because we've got a lot of stuff going on. And it's very difficult for investors and traders right now to figure out what's what. Okay? It's very, very difficult right now. Oil. I think oil will stay right in this range. I think the US dollar is going to be very extremely fragmented till we get the decision from the Supreme Court. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know if anybody knows what is coming. But I think oil price is going to be stay, which is really bad for Russia. And I know they're putting tariffs on India, which will impact Russia as well. They're really trying to stick it to Putin, which is really great. I like that. Likely gold. I think gold is going to head higher, especially if the stock market stays fragmented for a little longer. There's definitely a lot of unforeseeability. I wouldn't be taking profit just yet. Okay. Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going to chop around in this range for quite some time. And I think folks are shifting money between gold and Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin may actually be leading the market a little bit. So I would be very cautious. But as energy prices cool off, you'll start getting better trades on and more trends on Bitcoin. Strongest sector would be XLC and SMH. Nothing changed from beginning of this year. Interest rates. I think interest rates are going to continue taking it under the chin. I don't think they're going to come down nearly as fast as a lot of folks believe they will. And I believe there's going to be a slowdown. And I think real estate and home builders are going to be taking it under the chin. Economy, interest rates. It's a big issue. Price target. I think we're going to close 6,700 to 6,900, which is exactly what Goldman said that we're going to close at. I don't think there's going to be any major changes. I'm not expecting any kind of a credit crunch. I'm not expecting anything too negative. Okay, I'm not expecting anything too negative. All right, let's continue. My top stock picks. All right, I like Google. I like Micron, and I like Amgen. Those are my long picks. My short picks, I have not changed my tune. SFM, Ryan, and GIS. I don't like consumer stocks right now. And I don't like specialty Ryan either, okay? All right, let's take some questions, Raleigh.
Yeah, buddy, what a terrific presentation. Outstanding, Roger. And we did have a lot of questions that came up, and many of them were answered during the session. But one thing kind of interesting, Roger, you at one point in time, it was kind of interesting. I think you may have been looking at the market internals. You said, oh, it looks like momentum is changing. And it prompted several people to answer the question, Roger, when you focus on momentum, how are you measuring that? How do you measure momentum when you make a statement like that? Where's that coming from?
Right here, right here. I hear here. It's real simple. Alpha Zone Pro when it gives me three. I'm so sorry, you guys can't hear me. It's right here. It's Alpha Zone Pro. It's this moment. This is my momentum. When this
Ah.
turns like this, I get tring, tring, tring. And when it goes right here like this, I also get rings. So whenever this rings, I look up to the left. I have it on my upper left screen. And all I do is I look to see if it's here or I look to see if it's here. If it's here, then I'll say momentum is about to decline. And if I see it here, I'm gonna say momentum is increasing. So I'm not like doing any weird analysis. I'm just looking at this momentum oscillator.
And this is right on the Pro Trader dashboard,
No,
isn't
no,
it?
no. This is Alpha Zone Pro. I
Well,
have
Alpha
another
Zone
one.
Pro.
I
Yeah,
have one
yeah.
on I have one on Pro Trader dashboard as well. I have one
Okay.
on the Pro Trader dashboard as well. The one on the Pro Trader dashboard is a little more advanced. It looks at three different time frames: 5
Ah, that's
minutes,
right. Yep.
15 minutes, and 45 minutes. This one just looks at one time frame, the 5 minute time frame.
And we're looking at that on the SPY.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm just trying to put a jacket on. That's just and I have that and I'm looking at it and that what I do is I don't really look at it unless I'm listening to and I hear those sounds. It's got audible alerts. It's got three bells. So anytime I hear the three bells, I look to see if it's coming, if it's curling down or if it's curling up, and then I say,
Curling
"Oh,
back up.
momentum's turning," and that's how I know. And yes, you have that also on the pattern. You have that on the Pro Trader dashboard. It's
Oh,
actually a little more. It's the one on the Pro Trader dashboard. It's a little more advanced because it's for stocks. This is for indexes. It doesn't need to be as advanced. Stan says,
oh,
"Does the pit include all your services?" It's like no, Stan. You need to have a diamond to be in the pit. Pit doesn't include everything. That's funny.
right.
Thank you, Adam. I
So,
appreciate it.
so some other questions that was here, Roger. You gave some examples where you basically said go long Microsoft, and people were wondering, well, that's great, but what's the best option? Do you teach me or explain to me how I convert that alert into an option?
Yes, I do it, and it's really, really simple. If you're doing a day trade, it's Delta 70, anywhere from 4 to 8 days till expiration. If you're doing a swing trade, it's Delta point 70, 3 to 4 weeks till expiration. That's it.
That's simple.
That's simple. And if it's a bonus trade, I give you the options because those are, I have to give you, you're not going to be able to figure those out. So I
Okay,
actually give you the
guys.
expiration, strike price, everything.
I just posted that for everybody. It's
Yeah.
just a quick little and it's incredible. And Roger dovetails into something else. There are a number of people here that, for example, they have level one options permission, and they're wondering, can they really be successful just buying calls or puts, or do they need to get level two, level three to take advantage of the bonuses with the spreads and things of that nature?
You need level two to take advantage of the bonuses. You need level one to just place the trades.
Okay.
And
So
you don't have to do the bonuses if you don't want to, but they're pretty cool.
they're pretty cool. So getting back to your stats then, Roger, basically all those trades that you took in your stats, that's level one. You were buying calls or puts because it did not include any of the bonus trades, correct?
Correct. Correct. I did not add any of the bonus trades to my stats. I completely and my bonus trades are better than any of my trades in any of my other pro. I mean, they're up there.
Okay. That's
They're up there.
outstanding. So I hope that's pretty clear here, folks, is that the core of this program, these are directional trades, and you're going to be buying a call and buying a put. But as Roger says, he will see opportunities where maybe a spread makes sense. And as you saw, it might be a time spread, it could be a new diagonal spread. These are all bonuses that are well explained. But if you do want to trade them, you may have to have level two or level three to take advantage of that. But that's not a requirement right out of the box.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have. So the other big question was this, Roger. A
Let,
lot
let
of
me let,
people,
let,
go ahead.
one second. All and also, even if you do intend to trade them, paper trade them, apply for your level one or two, paper trade them for like a month or two, so you really understand them. I give plenty of them, and then start trading them. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but that makes so much sense. Guys, anything that's new, it just stands to reason, but we should probably reinforce it. And that is always paper traded. Prove to yourself that you understand what's going on, that you know how to get in and out of the trades before you risk real capital on that. So the next big question that was asked this, Roger, because a lot of people were wondering, well, what percentage of these are day trade versus swing trade? And the root of that was this common, and it's a misunderstanding at this point in time, that I don't have $25,000, so I can't day trade these things. And I explained to them that in the Q&A session, we would set the record straight on that.
Yeah. So not most, every trade I ever give, bonus or regular, unless it's like a straddle or strangled, those don't count, or a time spread. Every directional trade that I give starts out as a swing trade. It has to be the perfect swing trade for me to think about it as a day trade. Okay. Then I decide usually towards the end of the day to keep them for swings. And in the daytime, like if I give one in the morning and it moves 10% on the option, I'll take a profit on it because I don't need to make more than 10% on a trade very quickly. That's more than enough for me to take. So a lot of it depends on when I want to take it off. Richie, for example, I talk to Richie all the time, and he told me he takes partial profit when I give the profit target exit on the first trade, and then he holds the rest for profit. And he says the vast majority of them work out very, very well. I would say, based on my feedback that I do on my thing, and I look at my price, I would say that 85% of the trades, 85% of all day trades, you'd make more money holding them as swings.
As a matter of fact, I think, Roger, it was a couple of months ago, we actually did a survey. And I think the survey came back that between 80 and 85% of the alerts that you've given your pit members, they were holding them as swing trades.
And you can ask them right now here, they'll tell you, but the vast majority of people hold the trades as swing trades. The vast majority. The
Yep.
vast majority. And
Now
if you
the
want,
other thing, the other thing is this that I think we need to address is this 25,000. Okay, guys, look. It's true. If you want to day trade in a margin account, you have to have $25,000. Okay. But you can day trade in a cash account. Okay. And there is no pattern day trading requirement. So understand fundamentally the difference there. And what was eye opening to Roger and me, I mean, as recently as a month ago, Roger and I thought that the only downside to a cash account was it takes a couple of days to settle. But many people said, no, 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 guys, they're settling same day now.
right.
Okay. So from that standpoint, if you want to day trade, which is taking multiple day trades every day, every single day, trade it in a cash account. I can also tell you that FINRA has, submitted a recommendation to the SEC to basically lower the margin requirement for day trading from 25,000 to 2,000. That's being looked at, and it's hoped that it's going to be approved end of this year, next year. Neither Roger and I know when that's going to happen, but we do know that a legitimate recommendation has been put there for you. So I
It'll take a
hope,
few more months. It'll be done in a few more months. I've talked
I
to some
think so.
people. It'll be done in a few more months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Roger, I mean, day trading has just become so popular, and when you add that to zero dated options and one dated options and all the stuff that's going on there, my gosh, why not? So,
Right.
uh, so I hope that helps people here answer because we want to be definitive here as to on the questions that you've asked about that, and I hope that works for you. Um,
Real quick, Sharon, Sharon says, can you also buy a stock and exit when I do that? I do that most of the time, Sharon.
yeah.
I trade
Mhm.
because I have a large account. I could take 5,000, 10,000 shares of a stock. So yes, that's a really good way to do it too.
Yep. So did everybody understand that? You can take the option or you can trade the underlying. It's your choice. The examples that we gave you in the presentation were with options because the gains are so significant on a percentage basis.
Right. Right. And the only difference between a cash account and a margin account gives you leverage. So if you don't need the leverage, if you're good with what you've got, then don't worry about it. It's good to
Right.
go. So if you're buying an option for $300, usually, what do you need a margin account if you have, say, $5,000? You don't. So
Yep.
it's people make a bigger issue out of it than it really is.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
There was another question that came up that I thought was interesting, and the person basically said, "Well, Roger, how many contracts do I have to buy to actually take advantage of this program?" And once again, I was trying to think where that question was coming from, but essentially, folks, you don't have to be putting five and $10,000 on every trade. You could
No.
start with a single contract.
My suggestion would be to start with one contract or one share and do that for 2 months. That's what I would do until you completely understand exactly what's behind my thinking, how often I put trades, how frequently, my propensity. Pay, that's what I would do. None of you are going to listen to me, but that's what I would do.
Hmm.
Okay, because what you don't make now will save you, so you can make a lot more later.
Right.
All right, that's how I would do it. All right, I think we've. Any other questions, Raleigh?
Now that basically clears out the questions that I had written down on my little notepad here. We have Roger literally here for about another minute, folks. He's got a bunch that he needs to get to. The markets are still open. We've got what, Roger, an hour and a half there. There are trades that I know that you're going to be looking at. Maybe something will
Yes.
pop up in the pit, but this is Roger's baby. He's here, guys. If you have any questions specifically for Roger, please ask them now. I am going to stay a little bit longer to answer any additional questions that you might have, but I'm the moderator. This is Roger's baby. He's the daddy. He's the guru here.
Let me know, folks. The pit is my baby. Clyde's and mine's baby. Let me know.
And I know that's something you have always wanted to do, Roger.
It
Is
is. It is.
basically it's the only guidelines are your own.
Exactly. I rules where it's cannot find Roger or Trading Pub or Prosperity Pub.
Yeah, of
You're
course you
on my
can.
yeah, of course Star Dog. You're on my webinar. What do you mean you can't find us? Raleigh's giving you a link.
Yeah,
I'm
if
on
you
there.
if you
If
go
you
to
can't find
the
me, if you can't find me on Trading Pub or Prosperity Pub, that's a big problem, Star Dog, because I'm the senior trader there.
Yeah, I don't know if you're on Prosperity, but you're definitely on thetradingpub.com. If you go there, you can read about Roger, you can see all the courses that he's got and et cetera. And so one last question, Roger, good question. How time sensitive are the entries and exits? In other words, if I get an alert, Roger, how quickly do I need to get that in the market? And it's a fair question.
Pretty damn quick. Pretty damn quick.
So you
And
need to be available.
you need to be available. Now, folks, I'm going to explain something to you guys right now, okay? I want to explain this to you. There's two kinds of availability or unavailability. There are people like truck drivers, right? They're busy driving trucks all day, but if they get a phone call or if they get a text, they can access it at any time. They're available. That's available. I have a gym lady who teaches at certain times where she cannot take a break. That's a person that's unavailable. If you're that kind of person, if you're unavailable, you're going to have a problem with this program because everything I do is time sensitive. Okay? I'm just letting you know. It doesn't mean you have to rush but you got to be around to place the trade. This is not one of those, can I take it 5 hours later? This is not that kind of a service. I've got plenty of those. This is not that kind of service. This is for people who are at home, who are retired, who have a lot of time on their hands, who are working, but at the same time have access to a computer at any time. It's for people who have access to a computer whenever they need to. That's what this is for. Okay. If you have a job where you're like a paralegal and you only get out at lunch and this is not going to work for you. A-line will work. I have others that'll work. But this is for people who want to. I call this program my bridge between part-time trading and full-time trading. Okay? That's what this is for. So this is for people who are getting more and more and more interested into trading, who are gearing up, who are like looking to buy more monitor. This is for people who've been bitten by the trading bug.
Right.
Okay? That's what this is for. That's what this is for. And I've got plenty of other programs for people who don't have the time, only have time to check the market 5 minutes a day. I've got that too, but this is not one of them. This is for those who are starting to get like serious about what they're doing. That's what this is for. All right, Raleigh, I've said more than enough. Thank you so much for being here. Kirk, Texas Kirk, I'll see you guys later. Thank you, guys. If there's anything I missed, email me, roger@rogerscott.com. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Thank you, Roger. Thank you so much for your time today. And also to you and Matt and the rest of the team to putting together this fantastic service that you've got that all basically starts with the ProTrader dashboard, which is the critical way that you mine the markets for your opportunities, and then the alert service that you put on top of that, which is in fact the trading pit. Folks, I put Roger's email address in the chat panel, and I also put his public Telegram channel there. If you're not on his public Telegram channel, you should be there because Roger puts out an awful lot of information in his public channel about what's going on in the market, what he sees, various heads ups and things of that nature, and it's worth being there. And if you have any questions about Roger's methodology, his programs, his strategies, things of that nature, send him an email. He'll get back to you on it. What I don't want you to do is don't waste his time asking if you can get a better price or a discount or that, because he doesn't control any of that. You call 904-706-3539 if you've got any of those kinds of questions, you know. But outside of that, he'll answer any specific questions that you might have about how to best leverage his products and services. So you do that with his email address. Now, before I go any further, and I am going to stay here and answer some questions, etc., I do want to let you know that this is a live presentation and it is being recorded. And if you would like to have a copy of this presentation, all you have to do is give me your name and email address and say, send me the replay. Now, guys, I've turned off the chat. It's not available to everyone now. It's just coming to me so that we can keep your email information private. So once again, if you'd like a copy of this presentation, just give me your name and email address and say, send me the replay. Now, the last thing that I've done, folks, is I've created a summary over what Roger presented today with a focus on the trading pit. I've stripped out all the marketing stuff and the testimonials, and I just want to cover the bare bones of the program, and I'll also share the pricing with you and answer any questions that you've got. So if you've got questions, put them in the chat panel, and I'll make sure that that I address those as soon as I'm finished with this summary. It's going to take me about 7 minutes or so to go through this. So today's focus was on the trading pit, okay? And it's the only place where you can get 1 to 2 active alerts per day on stocks that institutional traders are likely buying or selling as it's happening in real time. And that's a mouthful right there, folks. I mean, that really is 1 to 2 active alerts a day. Okay, we get that institutional traders are likely buying and selling in real time. That is Roger's vision, and that's what he has done here. And here's how it works. Roger uses a proprietary scanner to find stocks that institutions are likely buying or selling within the first hour of the trading day. That's when it starts, and then he uses it throughout the day, but he waits for the first hour before he engages the platform. What he does, step 1, is he'll pull up a relative strength scanner that he's got, and he'll scan the markets for the strongest stocks on a 1-hour time frame. So strongest stocks on a 1-hour time frame. And if he likes what he sees, he's going to send out an alert because the stocks with the strongest relative strength within the first hour are stocks that institutional algorithms are likely accumulating. For example, let's take a look at Microsoft on November 6th. And that's not just a couple of weeks ago. This is November 6th, 2024. On the 6th, 1 hour after the market opened, Microsoft had a strong intraday relative strength compared to the SPY. So we see Microsoft in green and the SPY here in blue. In fact, on the hourly relative strength scan, it showed that it was the strongest stock in the S&P 500. So it's a likely candidate, okay, to look at. And so he sent out the alert to buy Microsoft at 10:08 a.m., knowing that algos were likely going to be accumulating this stock all day long. So you 10:08, go long Microsoft. And if you remember the question I asked a little bit earlier, he's got a very, very straightforward way of doing this. If you're going to day trade it, go 5 to 8 days out, look for a delta of 70. And if you were going to swing trade it, you go out 4 to 5 weeks with a delta of 70. That's how you convert that alert into an option, buying a call or buying a put. And sure enough, Microsoft outperformed the SPY by 6 times on the 6th of November. So, when it comes to all the live alerts that have been issued since we introduced this program 24 months or 2 years ago, we've issued 421 trades. We have 396 wins. The win rate's 94%. And the average return, net of winners and losers, is 11.3% on any given trade. Now, in addition to the alerts, you're going to also get the Trading Pit Getting Started guide. Okay. You'll find bonus trading videos about how to balance your positions, bet sizing, and so more. For example, like that little formula about how do you convert an alert that says buy Microsoft into the best option. That's all explained in detail here. You're also going to get the Trading Pit write ups, emotional mind traps. And I'm glad that he's doing this because, once again, this is a program, as Roger says, that is for people that are looking to become full-time traders. Okay. One of the key obstacles that you're going to have to overcome is controlling your mind and your emotions as you become a full-time trader. And he's put together a two-part guide. The second part was published last week, just on the kinds of things that you need to be cognizant of and some techniques that you can use to keep your emotions in check so that you maintain your objectivity through the decision process of deciding when to get in a trade and when to get out of a trade. And I'm glad that he's put it there. And there are people here that swear by it. They read it every day. It's almost like a pre-flight checklist if you're a pilot. You go through this to make sure that you've got the right orientation going into trading the markets, and that's what it's all about. You're also going to get real-time market updates. So not only do you get 1 to 2 alerts in the Trading Pit Telegram channel, but Roger's also going to give you breaking news and updates as he becomes aware of them. Because once again, folks, he is watching the markets, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4:30. Actually longer than that, but very actively he's watching the markets. And when he sees something that's important, he's going to let you know, and you're going to get that in the Telegram channel. He'll take a screenshot, for example, of a chart that he's seeing and critical levels that you need to be aware of. He might be talking about sector rotation that's coming on, and be careful about looking at trades, for example, in speculative stocks. You might want to look at defensive stocks. All of this. He can even actually put some video in there if he wants. It all is supported by Telegram. So not only do you get alerts, but it's almost like a Squawk Box. You get Roger's Squawk Box in your Telegram service. He's sharing with you just constantly what he sees going on, what to be aware of, what to take advantage of, what to be careful about. It's all coming to you. Okay. You also have our US-based customer support team available to answer any questions that you have, and everything that you get today. Once again, you're going to get, the 1 to 2 alerts per day, the emotional mind traps, the getting started guide, all of this information. Our publisher basically says for everything that it does and what we've been able to experience over 2 years at $5,000 per year, that's what the list price is on our website. Okay, that's the list price. But what Roger wanted to do, he says, look, guys, I want to put together a special offering. Let's do it today. Let's just knock $2,000 right off the price and just make it $29.95. Okay. And so for everybody that takes advantage of this today by midnight tonight, continental US, midnight in New York to midnight in Los Angeles, the price is going to be $29.95 per year for the program. So it's a $2,000 drop. So here's some frequently asked questions. How many alerts per day can you expect? 1 to 2 per day. And once again, folks, these are directional trades, and the appropriate way to trade them is by buying a call or buying a put. But as Roger said, he's also going to give you bonus trades. Now, these bonus trades might involve level 2 options, for example, where he's recommending a spread, a debit or a credit spread, or perhaps it's a time spread because an earnings event is coming up, or maybe it's the new diagonal spread that he's been talking about. Those are bonus trades, okay? And those bonus trades are on top of the results that I just shared with you. So the program fundamentally is 1 to 2 trades a day that you trade by either buying a call or a put, but you are going to get bonus trades as well. And he tells you everything that you need to know when you get a bonus trade on exactly how to place that trade. Is this only day trades? No. Swing trades are done there as well, and they have been some of our biggest winners. I think just to recap this discussion, Roger only considers looking at a trade if it begins life in his mind as an outstanding swing trade. Okay. So he'll look at a ticker and he says, wow, this is looking at as a great swing trade. And he's looking at that on a daily chart. Then he looks at a 5 minute intraday chart to decide when would be a good place to enter this. Okay. And let's say that happens at hypothetically 11 o'clock in the morning. And then he's sitting there going like, hey, an hour and a half later, this thing is up 22%. As far as Roger's concerned, let's not get piggy. Let's take that 22%. If you do that, once again, that's effectively a day trade. Or you can simply hold it, swing it, and trade it the next day. Once again, remember, it began life as a high quality swing trade. Roger's just not a pig, okay? He's not greedy. He basically look at something and says, hey, I'm up 15, 20, 25, 30%. I'm good with that, and he'll make those decisions. Is it small account friendly? We think so, okay? During the audit on the 420 trades that we've issued, the average option trade is about $174 per contract. Okay. And from that standpoint, as you said, you can always set up a cash trading account to bypass the pattern day trading rule. But $174 per contract, that tells me that, basically looking at about a $3,000 account, $3,000 to $5,000 account, depending on what your risk tolerance is, risking 2 to 5% on any given trade, you should be fine trading a single contract with an average of $174. And then as your account grows, you can scale up. How do I receive the alerts in the trading pit? They're going to come to you via a private Telegram channel. And we like Telegram for three reasons. Number one, it's fast. And it needs to be fast because when Roger basically says buy Microsoft, I mean, that's something that you need to do within a few minutes. Okay. Now, if you're waiting for a text message or an email message, it could be 5, 10 minutes or so before you even get that information. And that's too slow. Telegram is beautiful. The second reason why we like it is because it can reach you wherever you are in the world. As long as you've got a device, like your phone, okay, that you can go ahead and access the internet with, you can get a Telegram message and alert and you can place the order. So I can be in Scotland on vacation and I'm going to get that and be able to handle it. The third thing that we like about Telegram is that, as you saw, I can copy and paste and put screen images. I can put short form video. I could give you text information. These are things you can't do with a text alert service. And if for whatever reason you have an issue with Telegram, this alert service isn't for you. It's the only way you're going to get the alerts. What trading platforms are compatible with the ProTrader dashboard? Okay, that's the tool that Roger uses. It works on TradingView, Thinkorswim, or TradeStation. Okay. And, after you sign up for the trading pit, you're going to have a chance to go ahead and to get the ProTrader dashboard at a big discount if that's something that you want to do. Now, wrapped around all of this is Customer Service Live. 3 hours every day from 10 o'clock to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Cam and Gustavo and the team, they basically open up a Zoom room for you where you can come in and ask any questions that you have about the products or services that you have bought or invested in from us, including the ProTrader dashboard and the trading pit. These guys, they know our products and services like the back of their hand, thing one. Thing two, they're also traders, so they know where you're coming from. And thing three, they only have one objective, and that is to make sure that they answer your questions and to make you as comfortable and as happy as you can be with the products and services you've invested in from us. And a number of people will freely write testimonials here on how fantastic this service is. So if you buy the program, if you have any questions, 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week, come in as often as you would like, ask your questions, and we will make sure that we take care of you. So rogerscott.com/trading. That will take you to a landing page, and you can see the 1 year price already discounted at $29.95. You get 1 year access to the trading pit. And when you join the pit, here's a snapshot, sort of a screenshot of what some of the members area looks like. You'll see the getting started guide. This is where you join Roger's, private Telegram service. There are masterminds that have been recorded here, how to set up your Telegram. Lots of information here in your members area. Now, the important announcement that we wanted to share with you is that Roger knows that for a number of you, the trading pit is where, and I'll use the biblical analysis. This is where Roger is feeding you fish every day, 1 to 2 fish every day, and he's going to do that day in and day out. Okay, but there are people that are going like, "Hey, that's great, Roger, but is there any way that I can have access to that tool that you use to find these opportunities in the market?" And that's what the Pro Trader dashboard is. Okay, it's the same tool that Roger uses to scan to find the strongest stocks in the market or to scan to find the weakest stocks in the market. In the case of the weakest stock, he just waits for this red arrow to print. Okay. And when that happens, it tells him what he needs to know, or he waits for the green arrow to look for an up signal that tells him also at that point in time when to enter and when to get out. As you can see here, it'll print your profit targets and your stop loss. And this is this core tool that Roger has. Now, Roger not only relies on this tool, but obviously you can appreciate he's got 31 years of experience trading the markets. And so he's adding his knowledge and his insight, on top of everything. But it all starts with the Pro Trader dashboard. So once again, what he has done is he's basically said, I'm going to put a big discount on this. For 1 year, you can get the Pro Trader dashboard for $19.95, or you can have it for lifetime for an additional $9.97. So the total lifetime price is $29.92. So folks, this concludes my summary. And before I go any further, let me go ahead and just post all that pricing here in the chat panel, because I don't want it to be confusing to you. And I want you to see everything that we've got there. The other thing I want to mention is this: the Pro Trader dashboard, that's an option. You do not need that to take full advantage of the trading pit. Once again, there are some people that are going like, I don't want to look at charts. I don't want to have to worry about that. I love the fact that you're giving me the fish. Give me those alerts 1 to 2 every day, and I'll rock and roll with that. And there are other people that are going like, no, I want to learn how to fish. I want to be able to teach myself how to do this as well. And so that's where the dashboard makes total sense. So let me go back up into the chat panel, see if we got any questions. Sandra says, okay, you're not getting the replays. I don't send them out. They come from our customer care team, and I'll go ahead and Sandra, I'll send them a note. Make sure that you also look in your junk file, your spam file, make sure, that they haven't gone there, but they look at they when I'm done here, I take your email address and information and give it to our customer care team, and they jump all over that to get that stuff out to you. So I'll let them know, though. Thank you for letting me know. Session, thanks, but driver listening would like to have again so I can take notes. Yep, no problem. Andre, send me the replay. Let's say, Andre, I've got a phone number there for you. Do you have an email that you can share with me? It might be easier. Email. Please send me the email. Okay, email. Please send me the replay of the program. And okay, great, perfect. Well, thank you, folks. Okay, so let's just make sure we understand this. So is there a refund policy? There is. So on the trading pit, you have a 14-day guarantee there. You have 14 calendar days, okay, from the date of your purchase, whether you go for 1 year or lifetime, to take full advantage of everything that's in the pit. And if for whatever reason during that 7-day period of time, that 14-day period of time, you would like a refund, you call us and we'll refund every penny of your investment. On the optional Pro Trader dashboard, that's a 7-day guarantee. So you have 7 days to take advantage of that and let us know if it's not working for you for whatever reason. First of all, if you have an issue with any of these programs, if you have any questions at all, call us. call our customer support team, go to customer service live. Guys, these are great products. And if you've got questions, we want to make sure that you answer them so that you can fairly evaluate these tools. So don't just sit on them, okay? And, just call us, be proactive, okay? Call us. But if for whatever reason, we can't get them working or they're not satisfactory for you, for whatever reason, we'll refund every penny of that investment. So, all right, folks. Well, listen, I am going to save the chat panel now so that I have your email addresses, and I'll get that over to our customer care team. And I'd like to thank you all for coming today. We certainly hope that you got great value out of this presentation. It's been, I've enjoyed getting to know each and every one of you just a little bit better. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 12 noon for the next edition of Roger Scott's VIP Trade Room. Take care, folks. Have a super day. I know that there's probably was about an hour or so. What is it, 2 o'clock? A couple of hours left in the trading session. So if you're going to be trading, please stick to your plan. Don't do anything crazy. And I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon in the VIP Trading Room. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.